Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to Sondering Tarot from here. Hi, hello, and welcome. This is part of a series I like to call Coffee Talks, and no, coffee is not required, but you might as well grab a drink, sit back, and relax. We're going to talk for a couple of minutes about whatever subject we're going to tackle today, which happens to be the 4D. So, welcome to the 4D. We went from 3D to 4D. That's our small little leap in this great leap forward, our cosmic shift that we've been going under. So this is actually a part 2 to my great leap forward, in case you haven't noticed. Now, how did everybody handle the shift to 4D? I know a lot of you probably suffered through some ascension sickness. I've had more than one person tell me that they had pain in their feet, headaches, pressure in their third eye. Other people just straight up got sick. Others, chaotic energy, high vibrational energy, extra plasma hitting the earth. It kind of made people a little agitated, a little antsy. Anyway, as we've adjusted to that, and all of us have adjusted now, we've all acclimated to the new high frequency. It might be easier now to look back on, okay, what did I have? What did I feel? That kind of thing. But with a lot of this, with going into 4D, some of you probably noticed a few other signatures. One I'm going to mention, and I want you to think back and see if you noticed this, because this was mentioned to me, and as soon as I heard it, I was all like, that's right. Has anyone noticed what we call Kens and Karens? Our NPCs that have a tendency to spew hate, garbage, and otherwise make our lives a pain in the ass? Has anyone noticed that the Kens and Karens are a little bit more mellow lately? Yeah? No? Yeah? Hopefully, yeah. Because it's true. Our switch to the 4D, them trying to assimilate those energy, kind of took a little wind out of their sails. They're not going to be able to be as obnoxious and loud as they used to be. Which is kind of a perk. A really good perk that I didn't think about when we switched. A lot of you also probably experienced new company as we assimilated the 4D energies and the vibrational frequencies of Mother Gaia, of this planet that we live on, caught attention, not only those of entities out of body, which are in the second dimension, looking to see what's going on planet Earth, on Mother Gaia, but those also in a body and other areas of the third dimension, other planets. Some of you probably had some new friends or soul family, or just those that are curious stop on by. I know I've had more than one visitor pop in, and that's pretty much what it was. Whether they've had lives in bodies on Gaia previously or not, things are happening. Everyone took notice in the rest of creation. This is a big shift. A lot of us actually signed up to be here specifically for this. Other events may not happen, let's face it. For Mother, Father, God are not living. We have new source beings in charge. So, this makes things interesting. However, I will say going forward, because we have the shift to the 5D, and that's the 3 days of darkness I mentioned previously. When we have that shift, it won't need an announcement, trust me. The lights and no sun for 3 days will get everyone's attention worldwide. But before that, we can also do some prep. Now that we're in the 4D, we're going to have a few weeks probably to finish acclimating and adjust before we have the 3 days of darkness. So, I still don't recommend anyone wearing any amethyst. That attracts hard energy, and we're going to have a full solar flare, full blast, unfiltered, of plasma also hitting the earth. This is why we lose our electronics for a little bit. It's basically a big EMP burst that hits the earth, all the earth, not just one spot, not for a couple minutes. It's going to last a bit, and everything's going to shut down. So there's going to be chaos. So expect things to not operate that require electricity for a bit. That means, okay, heating, cooling, machinery that helps with your water and sanitation, not going to be there. You're not going to be able to just pop something in the microwave to cook food. This is where your survival kits come in. I'm not saying you have to eat MREs. I'm saying you might want a charcoal grill. You might want a little Bunsen burner. You might want a little grill that takes the green canister gas instead, something else to cook on. Or maybe you want a fire pit in the backyard, a safe one that is legal for you to have. I know some areas have high dry spells, especially for those of us in the northern hemisphere where this is going into summer. We have fire bans. Make sure you're using something appropriate. So, stockpiling things like bottled water, drinking water, making sure you have potable water that you can use to fill up the back of your toilet so you can flush your toilet. Things like that. Extra water for your pets. Make sure you have even dry food for your pets if you normally feed them something fresh. You may not necessarily be able to, boil chicken or anything like that. So please keep those kind of things in mind. I will also say that the Numite stone that I mentioned previous, it's a little fun little black stone that's calming, will also be good for you. And as we go into the 5D, especially during the 3 days of darkness, another reminder for you as well, there's going to be a point where the earth stops spinning. So we're going to have extreme gravity. You're probably going to be prone to panic. Don't panic. This is where that stone's going to help you. The energy of love will also help you. Any connections that you forged with your guides, your ancestors, or your soul family, if you've had them show up recently and you've noticed them, have now started to communicate with them, you're going to want to foster those connections to keep those strong. They'll help keep you sane and keep you calm and safe, secure as you transition. A lot of us are going to have some severe effects. A lot of us, when we went from 3D to 4D, might have had some gifts show up. Why is that? Well, the shift to the 4D unlocks some of your DNA. Your DNA has literally changed. Certain markers. And that means some new abilities can start to surface that may have not have been so easy to access before. And the reason why we didn't go from 3D all the way to 5D is because, well, when you change that much of your DNA, your genetic code all in one go, even the most dedicated Shaolin monk would be pretty much in a coma-like state. So, we've had a little bit of an upgrade, but the next upgrade is a big one. So, don't be surprised if you feel like you got the flu, or you end up in a slightly bedridden state for a little bit. That's an extreme one, but a lot of people are going to experience that, unfortunately. And the older your soul, the higher your frequency, the less those symptoms are going to affect you, simply because you've done this on other planets, and your soul already is going to recognize it for what it is, even if you're in a different meat suit, a different vessel. Alright, with all that said, who's ready for the 3 days of darkness? Let me know in the comment section down below if you've already prepped for this. If not, start making a list. It'll help. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.